So, Charlamagne the God, it is time to keep it funky like two armpits, and let's get into this video. This is the Neg Entropy Chronicles. Now, let me preference this by I'm going to keep the videos that I actually I'm referencing are going to be in the details of the description of the video, because I can't play them just due to the nature of the language, because I try to keep this a curse-free station. But the man does admit multiple times, even in one video, that he does, and I quote, prefer drugging women with Spanish fly. Now, this was 3 years ago on the Brilliant Idiots podcast. And he's also made a video talking about men are raised in rape culture. And then he lied on the Breakfast Club when he spoke about his case from back then. But he said it was dismissed, not that he pleaded out. That's another thing too. But during the video, he said she was up but not coherent. So he admitted to putting the Spanish fly in a woman's drink. He admitted to having relations with her. All of these things, he admitted to it. And when his homeboy kept saying, oh, you took it, and that's not the word he used, but you know, it's YouTube sensitive, so they don't like you using certain words. But he admitted to, he didn't say that she was incoherent, but he was like, she's not coherent. She's not this. No, she wasn't passed out. And, you know, he just kept saying stuff that was really weird instead of just being like, nah, she was probably passed out, which sounds like she was. And he also stated the next morning, the lady and himself had a conversation, and she was like, did we do the deed? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, well, I'm glad it was you. Instead of anybody else, she was glad it was him. You dig? So that in itself might be somewhere that might be traumatic low key, because she's accepting that it's him, knowing that she was in a bad position. But the fact that the way he talks about it is weird in itself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, when you hear it, it's going to blow your mind. Like I said, I can't play it on here just because of the language. But one of the things that you have to understand, the case that he pled out on, she was 15 and he was 22 to 24, or, you know, somewhere around that age range. And the crazy thing about that situation is when you look at it, you know, he admits to throwing the party. He admits to all of these different things, but what he says is that it was consensual. He didn't do anything, nothing like that. But when this dude starts bringing up when Kwame Brown starts bringing it up, he sends a cease and desist letter. You know, so it shows you that Charlamagne is a lot more dirty than what you think, and he's just gotten cocky because he's built more power and notoriety. So he thinks that people forgot about it. But a lot of people did, because when it first came out, he said what he said, and I thought the case was actually dismissed because I didn't research the information. But because he stuck his nose out into a situation he should have stayed out of, which was the Kwame Brown situation and the interactions that were going on elsewhere, and he stuck his nose in it by mentioning this man's family. So he made it personal. So Kwame Brown responded in kind and gave him the same energy he brought out. Now, this is a guy, now understand that Charlamagne is a guy who talks about healing, trauma, all of these different things, and you want to bring up traumatic situations about an individual's family. Even if he had knowledge or didn't, you put too much information out there, like you cross lines. Now, I do try to preach being, you know, peaceful and not in a chaotic nature, but these are things that need to be explained to open up dialogue on mental thought process and things like that. Or just calling out somebody for being wrong, because the problem is these people get away with a lot of things and nobody addresses that person actually being wrong. Kwame Brown is the person who's responding. Charlamagne the God was an aggressor as well, because he butted in and mentioned things that he shouldn't have. You see what I mean? Now, also, he's somehow had everything swept under the rug, because you can't say and admit things like that and there not be repercussions. And then for no one to actually go after you is pretty interesting in itself, especially during the Me Too movement, to where you can say things like that and nothing happens. I find that quite odd. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's just he doesn't have that type of platform where people look at it and be like, oh my God, this is horrendous. They might just look at it like, eh, things happen, and they go from there. You never know. But it's definitely terrible to listen to. It's only like 3 minutes, but man, when you listen to them 3 minutes, the dismissal of his actions shows that there was a problem. And if that was one, it's no telling how many people he's actually done it to. Because that was something that he said, man, I was just a freaky dude back in the day. I mean, I still am, but you know what I mean? I was a freaky dude back then. You know, I just drop it in a drink. But when you heard him speak about Bill Cosby, the energy he had there was kind of interesting. It was like he didn't see the correlation or he didn't see anything wrong with it. So, you know, be on the lookout for more videos because guaranteed this is not the end of it. You know, Charlamagne need to go ahead and apologize and backtrack what he said about dude's family, because if not, more info is going to keep coming up about this dude. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. He's definitely got to get his ducks in a row. But remember, like, share, comment, subscribe, show your boy love, and be on the lookout for more videos. Peace.